All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back into today's stream. We've got the dog over here. She's a little off camera, but she's joining us today. She's scared of the thunder. There's thunder outside. Ooh, thunder. It's okay. It's okay. All right. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back in. We're almost halfway to 5,400. That's crazy. Or we're 500 away. If we're going by hundreds, we're 50 away, right? Yeah. So that's pretty crazy, you guys. Thank you so much for all the for participation in the latest streams and for subbing and following along. I really enjoy doing these with you, and it really helps as I do these after work, so pretty tired sometimes. So thank you guys so much for that. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get into today's stream. Um, Alrighty. Cool. So we're back here today. We're back. We're going to be working on our project Polywhirl. You guys aren't. I'm going to make a pinned comment. Pin that message. Cool. All right, let's go ahead and get into this today. All right. Okay, let's go ahead and load up our project here today. Get started. So we're going to do npm or cd and do the client. npm run dev here. Let's take this open. Let's go ahead and open up another instance. Wait for this to flip back over. We're going to go uvicorn API. Ooh. API.main app. Reload. Okay, got that. And we're in here. Okay. So what's going on? Why am I getting this little error? I'm not sure. Okay. So this is our project so far. Pretty satisfied with the front end. I think it looks nice. It has a nice overall aesthetic and kind of has a nice flow. I'm not sure. This box we need to update for something more relevant. Like I think I'm gonna have an API pull for a statistic about how many users we have, or how many snapshots people have taken regarding the better search or whatnot. Maybe just have some statistics about Polywhirl in general here, like maybe a few statistics, how many users and whatever. We'll display that there to kind of give us some credibility and whatnot. But I think the front end looks clean and nice so far. I'm quite happy with it. I might change this around a little bit. I'm not too sure, but yeah, it looks pretty decent. So yesterday we left off on. Let me pull this off to the side here. So yesterday we left off on. We have the ability to go to a user profile by signing in. Test@gmail.com. Password. All right, and then you can go to your account by going up to your account here, and there it is, right? So now this is the user account profile page here. So we need to do a few things. So a couple of goals for today. Sorry, I had some pizza. Let me know what your guys' favorite pizza place is. What's your go-to parlor? I got Papa Murphy's today. White people pizza. Okay, so we're going to try to first. I want to implement the leaderboard streak. So the leader streak into the database for the leader, and then incorporate the tracking upon the saving of leaders snapshots for a streak. And then I would like to compute right after we do that, we'll update our front end to display that information. And then after we do that, we will build the user profile page here. And then once we do that, we really need to finish the email verification by just implementing the resend part. That's all we need to do for that. Yeah, after that point, it's launch time. It's lunchtime, launch time. It's ready to go. So like, there's really no other, you know, there's really no other like uh ways to go about it. It's just the inevitable we have to face. But we need to figure out how we're gonna do the better search right now. We might just hold off on pushing that to production so we can get some free users here using the leaderboard and then slowly convert over to the better search. Okay, first things first. Leaderboard. Yeah, I dropped this because we're going to try to figure this out together here. Okay. Let's get into this. So what we're going to do, first things first, is we're going to implement into our database schema. Within our leaders field, we have appearances. We need to add a field into here called streak. Which is going to be integer, not null, default to 1. Well, if we're doing appearances to 0, let's do streak to 0 as well. Okay. So now we have that in there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to... Am I trolling? Is it streak EEK or EAK? No, that's region. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go to our polywhirl. We have build leaders here, and we have save leaders here. So all we need to do to implement this is we just need to update every leader here on save leader. But before we do this, we're going to want to do this. So this is the run ID, get next run ID. So this gets next run ID and then returns max ID. So previous run is, okay, it's just less than 1. That's helpful. So all we need to do actually to implement this is instead of saving for each leader, let's implement a function in our database to pull the previous snapshot and um, in some sort of hash table, and then we can use it that way. So then we can do O of 1 lookups for every user rather than database lookups for every user. I think that that's the better strategy. So what we're going to do is we have a run ID, and we're going to need to call our database.get snapshot um, get leader snapshot via the run ID, which is going to be run ID less than 1. So what we need to say okay, this will return back to us get leaderboard snapshot um, previous snapshot is this. Um, this gives us back dictionaries for each. Okay, and then what we're going to do so what we're going to do is we get the previous snapshot from the previous run ID. Now if run ID is 0 and this returns none, then that's fine. Um, so we have previous snapshot there. Save leader. So what we need to do is access the what form is the previous snapshot going to return to us? So let's write this function, I guess. Get leaderboard snapshot given the run ID. Probably database. So polybase. We're going to do def get leaderboard snapshot via the run ID, which is an int. We say if if type if run ID less than or equal to 0, we're going to raise, or we're just going to return none, right? Else we'll return query is equal to select all from, so this is our leaderboard. We just need to know if the leader's address was in that run ID. Select the leaders.address. So select the address from leaders um, select the address from leaders. We want to select the address and so the get leaderboard is also going to import leaders dot streak. And so what we're going to do is select leaders and streak from, so select the address and the streak from leaders where join, so leaders.address address leaders dot streak from leaders. Join. Gosh. So we want to do leaders join. Join the leader snaps on leaders dot address equals to leader snaps dot address where leader snaps dot run ID is equal to this. So select we're going to select the following: leaders.address, leaders.streak, right, from leaders, join leader snaps on leaders.address equals to leader snaps.address where leader snaps is run ID, leader snaps.run ID equals to this run ID. That's interesting because Hey, what's going on? Hey Sheppy, how's it going? Welcome in, welcome in. Okay, so that's interesting. I'm trying to figure out what this gets the next run ID, right? Previous snapshot streaks, get leaderboard snapshot. get leaderboard snapshot streaks takes in a run ID. It's going to give you the snapshot streaks for that leaderboard. Okay, so we're going to give the at. Okay, that's fine, I think. So now what we do, has to have type integer as well. So, but I think we can just return the self dot query, and we're going to put in the query with values equal to the run ID, and then fetch one is false. This is fetching all of those. So get leaderboard snapshot streaks. So now this will get leaderboard snapshot streaks, and we have those saved here. Um, So this is a list of rows, which are dictionaries. A list of dictionaries. Okay. So we'll have a list of dictionaries, which is here. So the thing is I need to repackage these. So we have a dictionary. We have a dictionary, which would be totals. And then what we're going to do, actually, yeah, what we can do is say totals is equal to a dictionary. And what's this dictionary going to be? It's going to be the, so we have a dictionary, and a list of dictionaries. So we have D4D in previous snapshot streaks, right? But we're going to do D dot items. Right? This will be key value. For keyword. Or is it? I don't think we can do double nested like this in the whatever. That's annoying. So we'll just do like this. Let's just go for dictionary in previous snapshot streaks. We're gonna do key. What's there gonna be here? So this is a dictionary, which is a row, and it's going to have a key of address and a key of streak. So address, so for key value in D dot items, what we're going to do is go into totals. Well, the thing is we have keys and values. So we need both those keys, the two key values. So we have for key value. We're going to get the values. So the first one, if the key is equal to address, then what we're going to do is put the address totals key of address, sorry, total equals key is equal to 0. We'll say none. If the key is equal to streak, right, what we're going to do is do totals but we need to have access to the address. So you just save it to the address. This is streak key. Streak. So we're in this dictionary. Okay, so we just need to take, sorry, totals D of address is equal to D of streak. I think we can do that, right? So we'll just access the totals. So we can just do this. D okay, so that'll give us our totals, and then all we need to do is say we have a user which has a streak in it. Right, we have users which have right. So these are poly users, and these don't have streaks associated with them. They're in the database. So we just need to know the user's address. So if user.address in totals, I'll make this streak totals. What we're going to do is if user.address in streak totals, Timestamp. Okay, let me go to my poly user model then. And what I'm going to add onto here is a streak. It's optional. That is just an integer. This is equal to 0. So what we'll do is in our polywhirl, our user will have a streak associated with them. So if the user's address in streaks well, we get this from the front end, right? So this is filled, this is at 0. So we know the previous user's streak. We can fill the user's streak by this, right? So for user, if user address in streak totals user.streak is equal to streak totals key of user.address plus equal 1. Or sorry, plus 1. So now the poly user model streak optional value, which is 0 upon creation, will be incremented by the corresponding user address from the previous snapshot if it's in there. And then we'll save leader. And so save leader will insert leader. So let's make sure it's not going to mess with anything. So this has user keys. User data. Streak here. So we go into user data for key. So we parse out and put the user data, right? If it's one of these, it's a user data. We put it into there. Else it's a snapshot data. So the streak will go into user data, not get put into the snapshot, which is good because we don't want to save into snapshot the streak. We want to save it into the user's data here. And so then it'll save accordingly and pass the snapshot data in with the run ID execute. Hey Ed Visoft, how's it going? Hey bro, I just want to tell you I will be more productive like you. Every time I open YouTube, I found you. Thanks, dude. Appreciate you coming in and joining the stream for today. Let me know what you're working on. Yeah, the project that we're working on is in the pinned comment. How to use .env? Honestly, man, I would just ask AI to give you a quick rundown. Give me a TLDR rundown of .env and how I can implement it into my project under these certain scenarios. Please don't write me the code, but rather just explain it to me in words and have a conversation and answer my questions. Gauge my current learning with questions so you understand where I'm at. Let's begin. That's kind of a prompt I would use to get your learning started. You have resources, use them to your advantage for asking questions and getting feedback, but make sure that you wrap those questions in proper context and make sure that it gauges your current understanding so it knows where you're at. So what else do we need? Where were we? So we... Okay, so let's get some feedback. Hold on one second. I want to... All right, so I'm working now on my project and beginning the implementation here. I went into my schema for the leaders field and I added a streak, integer not null default 0. Then in my poly user model, I also added a streak field into the poly user model and set it optional integer equal to 0. Then in the actual poly whirl, what I do is right before I save, I ping my database for the previous leaderboard streaks, which will be a list of all of the dictionaries, right? It's a list of each row for, and what it's going to return back is an address and a streak in that dictionary. So a key of an address and a streak with a corresponding value of an address and a streak. So then what I do is I do a little dictionary comprehension for D of address, colon D of streak for D in previous snapshot streaks. And then I go ahead and update accordingly if the user's address is in that streak totals, map, and update the user.streak accordingly, which is now, the Pydantic optional attachment. Then make sure in the save leaders function, which goes to insert leader, that I added the streak to the user keys so that it doesn't get filtered into the user snapshot data to be saved in the snapshot, but rather into the streak, into the user data, which is the leader. All right, now let's go ahead. What I'm going to do is I'm going to copy what we got so far. See, look, that's how much context I gave it to better my understanding here. So what we're going to do is we have schema, polybase, which has um, get leaderboard snapshot streaks, and get leaderboard, which now has the streak. Oh. And then we have our poly user model, which has streak integer. And then we have our overall poly whirl function, which does this here. Okay, let's get some feedback here. Nice progress. The logic is clean, and the O1 lookup pattern is exactly what we discussed. Here are a few things worth flagging. You're missing comma between appearances and streaks. Okay, in our schema, we just need a comma here. Okay, so also, right, this might return none. So we say if previous streak, right, then do this. Right? Actually, what we'll do is if previous streak else a dictionary here. Let's keep it as 2 lines. And so that way we can keep that. And then this is empty, so it'll just update to 1 automatically here. And then save the leader there. So, right, we need to do the reset though. So if user address is found in here, else, right, their streak gets reset to 0. We need to reset all of them. get the previous, then reset them all to 0. Yeah, that's it, 0. The user streak is equal to 1. That's right, but nothing will ever reset. Oh, because if they get picked up again, it'll go to 1 automatically if they're not found in the previous snapshot. Now, there is the case, right, where we could, right, if a user isn't picked up on the leaderboard, their streak remains in our database, which isn't that big of a deal because it would be a snapshot for that day of their streak, right? We don't want to go back through and reset all of the, well, no, so the user, that's the streak is found in the leader, parameter, right? Not on the leader snapshot. So we might want to consider, right, wiping all of the leaders once we get the previous snapshot. Once we get the previous snapshot, we want to would we want to wipe all of the leaders' streaks to 0? Because now, technically, every leader in our database doesn't have a streak unless they get picked up in the sweep. Since streaks lives on the leaders table, not the snapshot, if someone drops off the leaderboard, their streak just sits there stale. So your instinct is right. At the start of each run, after you fetch the previous snapshot streaks into memory, you do a bulk reset of the streaks to 0 on the leaders table. Then as you loop through and save current users, you set their streak to the incremented value. Anyone who didn't get picked up remains 0. So we would do this, then we would do db dot reset leader streaks, right? Now we would call in our polybase def reset, maybe delete leader streaks. So def delete leader snapshot streaks. Hey baby, how's it going? The puppy's playing with me here. Hey baby, how's it going? So delete leader streaks. So delete all leader streaks. So then what's this going to do is going to take itself. It's going to go. We'll say update the at the column, right? So update the table. So update leaders, set streak equal to 0. So update leader set streak 0. Self.commit or self.execute query. Okay. So I'll execute that. So that, right? Yeah, I think that's good. So then we'll take this function. Oh, sorry, polybase. Reset all leader streaks. We'll take this function and we'll put it here. And then we'll reset all the leader streaks there. So for user inres, if user.address and streaks.total, user.streak equals to streak total, user address plus 1, else streaks plus 1. So I'll do d.get address is none. Okay, so so this tries this except for exception rollbacks here, so we get a key error. So let's actually maybe not do that because it might be better to get that key error and have it be printed. Okay, let's try it here. So what we need to do to run this is just open up our Python terminal. Oh, this was my backend. Shoot. Well, we don't want to keep it running. Okay, it's fine. Let's do Python leaderboard builder. Hi. Okay, so that's running now. So that should, do this. So we should have a. If I open up a new folder here and query our data, or if I query our database, we should have select all from leaders. It has appearances there, but no streak. Address, username, joined, URL, last updated appearances. Huh. Let me. this. Okay. Okay, we'll run our builder. Hey Tim, how's it going? Hey AJ, what's going on, dude? Welcome back in. Hey Kosh, how's it going, dude? Appreciate you guys being here, eh, Wizard? Yeah, so streaks right now, what we're doing is we're implementing a new feature to our leaderboard to give it some more personality, I think, to our personal product, rather than just having the data be solely reliant on the Polymarket APIs. We can incorporate some internal statistic tracking in our own way. And how we can do that is things like streaks or appearances on our own leaderboard, right? Stuff like that. So what I'm getting at is we're going to track. Okay, we did a sweep over the leaderboard. Was this user that we picked up in the leaderboard sweep in the previous snapshot? In the previous sweep? Okay, they were. Okay, what was their, let's update their streak value in the database and let's keep going. Oh, they weren't in the previous snapshot. Their streak is now 1, right? So that's what we're doing here. So each consecutive daily sweep that these run, we'll be able to pick up on if anybody is trending consecutively on our sweeps internally. Um, Not just overall appearances on in the sweep, whether they come in or go, right, drop off in or out, but how many consecutive days they're picking up on. So that's what we're doing here. So we're letting this run here. Hopefully this works. Um, we're building our leaderboard. It's building them as as it goes here. So we should give it some time. But if you're new here, hello, my name is Michael. Welcome into the channel today. Appreciate everybody being here and hanging out with me. I have been programming and teaching myself how to code from scratch for about a year and a half, almost 2 years now. We've been building cool projects like SpectroSim, ChromaPlot, Stalker, Pocket Farm, and this project, Polywhirl. Um, we have a tendency to kind of stop building projects as we get to the end, but on this one, we're really trying to push through as we think we can have some real world value with this project potentially. Um, so we've been building this live since about the beginning of March using React and Python. So if you have any questions, please let me know. I'm happy to answer any questions and share what I can. But yeah, we're letting this run right now. So right now our Polywhirl runner or our backend functionality or leaderboard builder is running. It's generating these API calls and getting them. The actual script itself is fast, but the API rate limiting is causing us to have to strategically run these calls and do some sleeping in between, so we don't get banned and whatnot. We may be able to incorporate like proxy AP or proxy IPs into our things and use those to ping from different angles, but um, yeah, I'm not exactly sure. I don't really want to get into that right now. Anyhow. We're running here. We're about, a quarter of the way done here. So we'll let this run. Yeah, exactly. Now these are pertaining, Wizard, to my internal leaderboards, not the leaderboards of Polymarket. So I am using the Polymarket, their data to generate the statistics, but these appearances and streaks pertain to our individual leaderboard that we're generating. This leaderboard does not match the Polymarket leaderboard in a way. It's we get this data, we compute closed positions for the past X amount of days and their total open positions and generate statistics and rank in our own way for each of these betters, rather than just the simple way that Polymarket does it, maybe based on like overall P&Ls or whatever. You have different filters for these. This is running right now. We're almost halfway there. So the goal for this would be to run about like at 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. maybe twice a day, or maybe just at 6 a.m. every day. I haven't decided yet. We need to host this on some sort of server with a cron job to run this script at our desired times and update our database appropriately. But we're getting down to that. We only have a few more features to implement, such as just the resend for emails. We have to do the user profile page, and then wrap up the this feature we're building right now, and it's done. So at least for the most part, the key features, the MVP. Get my dog here below me, giving the dog some pets. Let me know what you guys are building lately. If you guys are new. Yeah, that's something we could do as well. The only difficult part is that the leaderboard changes daily, right? So it's like maybe what we could do is I'd have to really think about the design and how I wanted that to work, right? Because you pull new leaders daily, and some of them might be from yesterday, and some of them might not be, and they might have new positions that had been opened and closed and whatever for that day. And you're one day in the future, which means that one day in the past has been dropped off from the computation because for the leaderboard, it's hard stuck at 30 days for closed positions. So if I'm just thinking about it, if we have a day, right, you could just so that's the difficult part is you have to drop the 30th day and add basically this the first day and then compute that. Okay, maybe we could do that. So maybe we could implement a caching system, have a table, cache the leader's position data that we're pulling. And so that all we have to do is if the leader is found and was found yesterday, all we need to do, or is found in our cache, we just need to pull the amount of new positions up until the previous most recent position that we have in our cache. Okay, that makes sense. So think about it like this. We have a cache, which is just basically a table, a database table of the open positions for each user that we have in our leaderboard sweeps for the 30 days, right? Now we can have leaders that are old that don't get picked up for X amount of days get automatically dropped from the table with some sort of cleaning system, right? But let's not think about that right now. We have a table, like I said, of all of the positions that the person has made in the past 30 days for closed positions, and then we'd have to generate probably all of their open positions again because those change quite frequently in terms of their current values, right? They fluctuate, within every second, millisecond, the value. So the closed ones, those are done and finalized. We definitely have an opportunity to cache those, right, Wizard? So if we would just call a database to get all the positions. Some maybe drop off the last day, add in the first day up until the most recent, the maximum day, right? Compute that date delta, and add in positions that were closed up until that date delta reaches 0 with some while loop. Or just update the database with like some sort of split or a strip. No, slice. And now we have the most recent 30 days. So how I'm thinking about this is like, let's just visualize this buffer, right, as our 30 days of closed, positions for some address X, right? This would be day 1. Let's just kind of start, let's just be computer scientists here. This would be day 0, and this would be day present, right? Day 29, right? We have a new day, right? A new day, day 30. We picked up, this is our sweep. We picked up a record for address X. We say, okay, we just need to stick this onto our queue, basically, and have the front of our queue come off for Y amount of positions, right? So what if, like, this doesn't have to be 30 in the box. This could have a bunch of positions, right, that all are for the 30th day, if we're starting from 0. So that would make sense to me. We got one viewer. Everybody bounced out when we started talking about database design. Dang. Or maybe it was just a glitch. We're back at 5. Hey, pup. It's okay. What's going on? Why are you scared? It's okay. Okay, our thing's about to finish up here. Okay, that's saved. Streak 1. Okay, now what we're going to do, now we have one streak, right? So now we have, okay. Hey puppy, you gotta move out the way. I'm gonna roll over you with a chair. You gotta move out the way. I got this pup right here. Look at it. What the dog doing? What the dog doing? Got a pup under my legs. Watch out. Watch out. Come here. Come lay down. Up. Up. Come on. Up. Up. There you go. Lay down. Hey, what's going on? Me like Zaman. Okay, cool. Now let's go ahead and do some front end stuff. So on the front end here, what we're going to do is go to our pages. Now our streaks are being sent to our front end now. So we're going to go to our pages. We're going to go to, let's kind of clear out of this first real quick. Come on. Okay, we're gonna go pages. leaderboard. Okay, let's move this over. Okay, leaderboard. We're going to go to the desktop table here. And right here, we're going to do this. Span leader.streak. Going to remove this. We're going to do this. Okay, so then what we're going to do is fire emoji. Oh! Come on! That looks good. That looks good. That looks good. Is this zoomed in or is this full? What's this full? So they all have a streak of 1. I don't really like how it's all of them. I'm going to do what we're going to do is do span, and what we'll say is here will be leader.streak greater than 3. Then what we're gonna, then do the leader.streak with the flame emoji. $. I don't know how to do this. Leader.streak with the emoji here, right? I don't know. How would you put in the physical thing here? Else. No. I don't know how to do this. Let's see. Okay, so it's just another one of these. Backtick, uh, like that. So if it's more than 3, you get the streak. What if I say more than one? More than zero? Should all get them? Yeah. Okay, so then we'll do more than three. Greater than or equal to three. Really quickly, I want to debug this, so let's do 0 for the styling. Let's get as small as we can here. See, some of them go over like that, so let's do a border here. Okay, let's just say width full, much as you can here. Now let's do border. Takes up the full. Oh, with max. If I take off with max here, it's a lot less. And then something's going on with these. Hold up. The here. Leader appearances. Control C and put this here. Let me do a component here. Appearances badge. Okay. We're going to go up to here for this span. Export default function appearances badge. Return the span. And then what we're going to do is you have to pass in prop of leader, right? Okay. So then what we can do is import appearance badge. Take the appearance badge, replace that span. The appearance badge. We're going to pass in leader equals to leader. And then what we're going to do is take this and replace the appearance badge here. Perfect. Okay. Now, I might make it a little bit smaller. Let's just do rounded full, I guess. Yeah, I like the circle, I think. What's 1 and 1? No. No, 1 point. Okay. 1.2. 5. Okay, that's fine. What if we got rid of this? No, it doesn't. It's just, okay. And then that's fine. I like that. And then if we set the, okay, so now we're in this, we just need to add on the flame. So let's add in a component here. This will be called, this will be called streak badge dot JSX. We're going to take this, just copy it over, streak badge given leader. And so we're going to import our streak badge. And then where we have the streaks, here, streak badge, leader goes in, and then we're going to take this and do the same thing down here. There it is. So now our streak badge, we'll make this, we'll make a variable, const streak limit is equal to 3, and we'll say streak limit here. All right, cool. That looks really good. Now if we just quickly change that over to 0, they all get a streak. Okay, we might do a border full rounded full padding 1.25. No, never mind. And the appearance badge has text of 10 as well, but semi-bold here. Sorry, font. I wonder if we could add some effects to this to like Okay, that looks good. Alrighty, nice. I'm gonna make on the leaderboard. Make the leader. Bold. Rank user address map leader. Username bold here. Okay. Nice. I like that. Okay. Let's go ahead and push that up. Added leader streak. Kind of a dead chat today. Where's everybody at? I guess it was kind of an earlier start to the stream, but dang, where everybody at? Oh. Okay, nice. Okay, that's streaks added in. Now what we'll do is go to login page, test at gmail.com, password. Cool. Go to our profile. And here we are. Okay. We're going to try to work on styling up a profile page. And yeah, I don't know how this is going to go, but we're going to give it a shot and see what we can do. Thanks so much for being here. Let's get going. All right. Okay, what we're going to do, we have main, profile here. Okay. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up a div. Or let's kind of get all of our stuff out that we want on here. So we have an h1, which will be profile dot email. Okay. Taco Tuesday. I had pizza today. Okay, so we have email here. Okay, we're gonna do span. Hold on one second. What the heck's going on here? Hold up. Confused. Oh, you just need to react. You just need an element. Out of here. God. Okay. So if user tier all I wanted was you. User tier 0. Then what you're gonna do is say dumb. Where did it go again? Backtick? Profile tier greater than. What's it there? To backtick $. This will be. This will be. Okay, I'm going to take this that I just did. I'll come up here. Okay. Okay. So we have email, span tier. I'm going to wrap these in a div. I'm going to do class name flex row, gap 2. We're going to apply a class name, border, width, or padding in the x direction of 1.25. Border or rounded full, heading in the y direction of 0.5 of 1, 0.5, 0.5, 1.5, 2, 1. Maybe just 1.25, 3.5, 0.5. Okay, we'll do here. Blazers winning. Is it playoffs? (105, 103) against San Antonio. Is this the playing game? Oh yeah, there's 8 seed playing game here. We need to Okay. So we have paid. Yeah, this is gonna be bold. Bold. Okay, here, class name. Text 3XL. Number 2 versus number 7 Blazers. I told you the Blazers are a sleeper team. If I had to put money on a team, dude, this year to win it would be the Blazers. If like an underdog team, don't say I didn't tell you. Bold. Test@gmail.com paid profile. So we'll do justify center. Item center. It's good. So then what we'll do is pretty simple. You don't really need much. So we have if I border this, what is this? The whole thing. Okay, so then if we do, this is going to be a div class name with did it do the table and leaderboard? Um, so it goes for a shared section here. Max with 4XL max. Yeah. Very good. So then what we're gonna do is okay. That's good. And then we're gonna have the member since. So below here, flex row here. So below this guy will be a span. That'll be profile dot joined. Can't read properties of null reading it here. Not read properties of null reading tier. The heck? What happened before I did this? What's going on? Profile question mark not here. Tier equals this. Weird. Okay. So then we have right below here span of profile dot joined. Okay, created at. Okay, and we're going to import from utils. We're going to import format from utils. I'm going to format this output to be timestamp. To be and then well, it's actually going to be a let me go to my leaderboard. Last updated here. Let's take this. I'm going to abstract out into a component called time stamp JSX. Okay, let's import this is going to equal to pending object that last updated. The heck is going on? Why does this keep happening? What the heck? I don't know. I suck at JavaScript so much. Hate it. Hate the JavaScript. There we go. All right, now you have that. Cool. Okay, so then what we're gonna do is we need to write an API function for returning okay, so then our API, our database is already calling slash me from our API. Which calls get user by ID from database. Which returns all this. Okay, so def get user profile self ID of a stir. Okay, we're gonna have a query, which is gonna be this. Select ID, email, created at. Let's do u.id, u.email, Oh gosh. Select u.id, u.email, u.created at, u.last login, u.is verified, u.tier, better snaps dot all from users as you join from users as you join you better snaps as BS where on dot ID equals to user ID dot better snaps not searched by. Okay, so this would be select the user ID, email, create at, last login is verified tier, and the better snaps all from users as you join better snaps as BS on user.id equals to bs.search by. And so if we do this and then go ahead and do return, say res dot, well, not seriously, res dot query, or sorry, res equals to self dot query. We're going to query the queue with values. We don't need values. Select u.id. So then we have to say where u.id is equal to this. I'll pass in here. Okay. So get user profile. Here one out. Go. Return res if none. Okay. So get user profile. So in our API here for profile, Okay, now if we refresh this, failed to fetch. Oh shoot. Oh, okay. I see, I see, I see, I see. So we're gonna return. We need to go to our polybase. This returns profile. Okay, get user by ID. Get user. Get user searches. Select better searches dot all. Select better searches dot all from better searcher, better snaps as BS where search by. Okay, and then our profile, get user profile. And we're gonna have a route async def get user better searches. So then what we're gonna do is we have user current user set like this request dot app dot state user better searches is equal to db.get user better searches. And this takes in an ID for which ID you're needing. Okay. This is going to be router.get slash me better. Okay, so then what we're gonna do is do um, basically something like this. Doesn't matter necessarily. Okay. Easier to get better searches. So now we'll go into our front end here. Slash profile slash mix slash. Um, okay. Let's see here. I don't think that's right, but we'll get some feedback. Someone says probably do this promise all here for this use effect. Failed to fetch better searches. Okay, got the list of better searches. Um, but me failed. That's right. Yes, those are right. These right. Um, hmm. I don't know what's going on here. Oh, okay. I think this is it. Yeah. Okay. Got it. Hey, Marcelo, how's it going? Sorry, not super lively today. I'm pretty tired, but we've actually been implementing quite a bit of code here today. We wired up a streak tracker for our leaderboard page, and now we're working on our profile page here by adding in the user's email, their account status. Where is the profile badge here? I have user profile. This tier here, this pi and the y is too big. Pixel of 2 pixels, 4 pixels. Hill. Test@gmail.com. This is going to be text. Okay. I will go. I'll leave that off, I guess. Hey, what's going on, Dorexism? Greetings from Kazakhstan. Tell me your opinion. What's the best to learn first? I don't know. I think a lot of people get too caught up on what to learn first and what not to learn first, trying to think that they might be wasting their time or not, when in reality they just need to start wasting time. So, my suggestion to you is to just start wasting time doing stuff. Um, Honestly, if you're like, I found myself that by thinking of everything as an investment often takes away a lot of the fun out of everything. So, it's good to think invest about some things, but some things can be just for fun too, learning and growing. Okay. Cool, you guys. I'm going to call it here for today. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. I appreciate it so much. Um, I'll probably feed our profile page here into Gemini and get it cleaned up just for what we have so far, and maybe have it just polish up a little bit of a list for our searches if we have any. But yeah, thanks so much for being here and hanging out with me for today, you guys. This was super fun. Really appreciate it. I'll be back tomorrow where we'll continue on. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe. A little bit more of a quiet stream today. Tuesdays, people must be pretty busy. So, anyways, appreciate you guys being here, and I'll see you tomorrow.